Bad Bunny has brought more global eyes to Puerto Rico, even spotlighting Bomba on stage. But few people know the roots of this tradition lives in Loíza, a coastal town where Africa still beats through the drum, the most Afro-Puerto Rican town of the entire island. This is Bomba de Loíza, and it carries a history much larger than this island. Bomba was born in the 1600s among enslaved Africans from the Congo, Yoruba, and Akan nations. Bomba, the dancer, leads with piquetes, or improvised steps, and the subidor drum, the primo, must answer instantly, creating a dialogue of challenge and resistance. The seis corridos rhythm of Loíza is fast, urgent. It runs like survival itself. Across the water in Guadeloupe, the same African memory became woka. The dancer drives the maque, the bula drums hold the pulse. The community sings back in call and response. Two islands, two languages, one drum logic. Bomba and Woka carry the legacy of the Congo people. The circle as sacred ground, the drum as living archive, the body as the testimony. Slavery scattered bodies, but not memory. These rhythms prove that survival was written in sound. From Loíza to Guadeloupe, we still dance the code of resistance. This is the rhythm of remembrance. Ashe, my people. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen Woka dance of Guadeloupe, or if you've ever been to Puerto Rico and taken a bomba class. Even better, if you came to Loíza and took a bomba class in the Bate. More to come on connecting Loíza, Puerto Rico to the greater diaspora through dance, music, and practices. Ashe, my people.
Y'all, I'm honestly outraged by the backlash to Bad Bunny's performance last night, especially coming from African Americans, because if anybody should understand this moment, it should be us. It really wasn't that long ago that we didn't get to shine, didn't get platforms, didn't get chosen. We know exactly what it feels like to be overlooked. So when another minority finally gets that space, this should have been a moment of full support. Even if I didn't understand every word he was saying, I still supported it. Because he deserved that stage. Bad Bunny represents a massive community in this country. He's from a U.S. territory, he's the #1 international artist in the world, and clearly people outside his language are listening to him too. So let's stop acting like he didn't earn that spot. If you can't sit through 30 or 45 minutes of someone who doesn't look or sound like what you're used to, that says more about you than him. We've been in that same position before. Our music has been called confusing or unrelatable. When Kendrick performed, people said they didn't understand it, but he still deserved that moment. This is no different. Not understanding the language doesn't mean the artist doesn't belong there. The climate we're in is too serious for ignorance. These communities are already facing enough, and they deserve a moment to feel seen, celebrated, and at home, just like we do. Two wrongs never made a right. If it was wrong when it happened to us, it's wrong to do it to someone else. We need to do better.
At 34 years old, Bad Bunny's halftime show was the first time I ever saw my entire identity represented on screen. My name's Jay, a global nomad. My father is Black American with heritage to the American South as far back as the 1740s, and my mother is ethnically Puerto Rican and Jamaican. My grandfather being from San Juan, and my grandmother having roots to Clarendon, Jamaica. Bad Bunny started his performance in a sugarcane field, the same crop that my Caribbean ancestors were forced to cultivate. That's the reason they were forced to the Caribbean. That's the reason they were forced to the Americas. I saw people with my skin tone, with my hair texture. I saw queer representation. And if you're Black and Latino like me, you know this. Colorism is a problem for our communities. Homophobia is a problem for our communities. I've always had to prove I was Black enough, Puerto Rican enough, Jamaican enough, masculine enough. And watching that halftime show for the first time, I felt enough. I saw the American flag, the Puerto Rican flag, and the Jamaican flag all on the same screen, right next to the Haitian flag, a country that has been constantly told they're not Latino enough. I saw my Southern Black American lineage, I saw my Afro-Puerto Rican history, and I saw my Afro-Jamaican heritage in one place. I saw queer survival, and I saw Black diasporic continuity and resistance. So thank you, Bad Bunny. I witnessed myself for the first time, and that was a turning point. Thanks.
I don't care how people feel about Bad Bunny's music. None of my business how you feel, because what you eat don't make me go to the bathroom. Now for me, Bad Bunny's music is energetic. It's good for working out. It inspires me to keep moving, and I'm learning another language at the same time. So now I'm bilingual. Mi mucho gusta bailar, me encantan los hamburguesas y los tacos, papi chula. Camaradita, So, but don't play. I swear.
And to the Black people who are complaining about the language barrier of Bad Bunny's performance, remember, you weren't even supposed to know English.
Did you know that a black woman was behind this? Did you know that? This is Charm Ladonna. Now, look, don't get me wrong. The show belonged completely to Bonito, but the choreography of the show, well, that was Charms. She was the lead choreographer and the key creative mind behind Bad Bunny's halftime performance, the most watched halftime performance in history. In history, she directed movement for more than 100 dancers on the field, designing formations that read clean from the nosebleed seats and came out crystal clear to all of us on our television screens. Every transition that we saw felt intentional. Every second mattered. And Charm Ladonna was the architect behind every beat, every transition, every moment that snapped that stadium into focus. Her choreography fused hip hop foundations with reggaeton rhythm and Latin social dance traditions, honoring Bad Bunny's catalog without flattening it into a stereotype. It was celebratory, political without being preachy, and deeply rooted in true cultural pride, not just for Puerto Ricans and members of the diaspora, but for all of us, for every American. Bad Bunny made history with language and presence, while Charm LaDonna made it unforgettable, made it also historic with movement. And if the Super Bowl is America's biggest stage, then this year, one of its boldest voices belonged to a black woman from Compton, choreographing culture in real time, whether America knew that she was there or not. Charm LaDonna is living Black history.
Watching Bad Bunny's performance last night really affirmed to me as a black person that I am jealous, envious of people who are from nations that they are proud to be from. It's like waving their nation's flag means something. Like that's their homeland. You know what I'm saying? Deep ties. You know? I don't have that same thing. I'm proud to be black now. Proud to be black. Will always choose to be black in this life and the next. Blackity, black, blackity, black, black, black. But I'm not proud to be from the United States. You know what I mean? A country that enslaved my ancestors, raped them, ate them, breeded them, sold them, fed black babies to alligators, hung them from trees, dragged them from horses. You know, I'm not proud of that. That doesn't make me feel pride in where I'm from. So and then this is no hate, because I love it for y'all. I love it for y'all. It's amazing to see. And, you know, watching the videos of people like hearing their country called out from, no notes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I loved it. Loved it. But I just made me realize how envious I am of y'all.
I came here to say real quickly, I don't know how all of a sudden this halftime show is now the black community's problem. I don't understand why is it that a lot of black creators are saying we're acting like white people, because there are some black people that did not like the halftime show. I don't see why people are like coming for even EK, and this is mainly on Twitter, about her saying that, hey, well, we're not. She specifically isn't Bad Bunny's target demographic for his music. And no, she didn't take the time to sit there and indulge herself in his music for 4 months before the Super Bowl, because that's not the type of music she listens to. So why is it that y'all are so gung-ho and trying so hard to put black people and the people that are oppressing everybody else in the same grouping category? Because it's not all black people. And people are actually allowed to not like something if they don't want to like it. I don't understand how is it that all of a sudden everybody needs to be on the same gay accord, because it's just like, well, no, they are very much free to like and dislike whatever the fuck they want. I didn't like Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, nor did I like Beyonce's halftime show. So what you gonna do about that? I didn't like Madonna's halftime show either. I didn't like Katy Perry's halftime show. Majority of the halftime shows that's been going on recently, I don't like them, and that's okay, and it's my life and I'm free to live it just like any other black person. But stop trying to put basically the essence of bullshit that's going on the black community, because guess what, it's not on us. This is not on us. It's not. It's really not. This is the 100th year of fucking Black History Month, which is crazy. The United States itself just turned 250 years old. For the last 100 years of that, they are just now, they just then recognize 100 years. 100 years. That's crazy work. My great grandmother passed away in 2000, and she was 90-some years old. Almost 100. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, I will say this. If I had not tuned into the halftime show or paid attention to the halftime show, I wouldn't have found a song that actually now means a lot to me thanks to Bad Bunny. And thinking about it honestly makes me want to cry. I don't know the name, but it starts with a D. I think it's DTMF or something along them lines. Anyway, but basically the song was pretty much, it felt sad. I knew something here was being expressed. I decided to go look into it further. And being that I have a uncle who passed away literally 3 days before my birthday, I understand now the lyrics of the song was basically, and I could cry. My eyes are going to water, but I'm not going to cry. Should have gave this person more hugs, more kisses, and taken more pictures with them. And I relate to that. Had I not seen the halftime show, I would have never knew that there was a song like that, by Bad Bunny. Anyway, I took something from it. I took something from the halftime show. And that's nice. I now know a new artist. I now am going to listen to this song to help me through my grief. Everybody else don't have that. Everybody else maybe didn't have that experience, and that's okay. Also, with the language barrier thing, there's always been a language barrier here in America. I mean, most of us speak English. You got to pick a person in Texas talking to somebody out in Minnesota. They're going to sweep them down. They don't know what that person is talking about, what they're saying. Okay? Bad Bunny speaks Puerto Rican Spanish. Most of the Spanish that majority Americans are introduced to, who don't have any type of like cultural inclusion of different cultures, basically, i.e. a foundational black person who's just straight black, won't necessarily be introduced to Puerto Rican Spanish or Venezuelan Spanish or anything like that. We're going to mostly hear Mexican Spanish because we get taught a watered down version of that in school. So it's just like, how are you mad because somebody else said, well, I didn't understand. They didn't understand. We weren't taught that. So how will we know? Oh, you should go and educate yourselves. Or maybe it's okay that a black person doesn't know every single teensy teensy finite information about somebody else. Maybe it's okay. It is, I promise you. But anyway, Puerto Rican Spanish to me is very interesting. Wouldn't have been, this much in tune with it if it wasn't a halftime show about it. And that's okay. It's okay. Things are different. People are different. We have different experiences, and I wish you guys would understand it and stop being like really upset about it. Also, stop making everything a black community, black person's personal problem. It's not. This has shit to do with black people right now. Cut it.
When Beyonce got on the national stage at the Super Bowl in 2016 dressed like this, nobody had to tell us that was for us. The day before this, she came out with the Formation video, and in the video, she is sitting on top of a cop car in flooded water, which is clearly making a political statement about how they did us during Hurricane Katrina. So when she comes out the next day dressed like a Black Panther, the girls was gagged because it was blackity, blackity, black, and we loved it. And then you zoomed out, and all the girls is holding up the Black Power fist. I mean, baby, we almost fainted. Like, collectively, we swooned. And then she goes on to sing on national television at the Super Bowl, I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. Nobody had to explain to us what that moment meant. And it didn't matter that it didn't mean anything to anybody else. It mattered to us. Blackity, blackity, black. I mean, we ate it up. Even the dances they chose to... Hold on, excuse me, Queen. Even the dances they chose to do, that was for us. They out there hitting the Dougie and all the dances from the 80s and the 90s, baby. It was real black, and it was real us, and it didn't have to be for nobody else. And then we fast forward to Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl, where he not only pays tribute to us as a people, but also where he's from. I mean, look at the car. Well done. Later in the show, we see another example of how it's not just about us, but where he's from, which is why they're dressed the way that they do. And one could make the argument like this isn't representative of who I am or where I'm from, even if I live on the West Coast, whatever. But Kendrick knows that this is how America sees us, which is why throughout the performance, you see Samuel Jackson being Uncle Sam. In the first frame, he tells us we're too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. And then right after the one with the homeboys, he goes, oh, you brought your homeboys just for that, deduct one life. Because the whole thing is a political statement about how America plays games with our lives. And so I say all of that to say, I absolutely loved the performance by Bad Bunny last night. I did not have to understand a word of what was being said in order to understand what was being said. Because just as we are yet being persecuted, his people and the people represented by who he is, what he sounds like, what he looks like, are being persecuted right now. And it is right and it is appropriate for him to make a statement to his people directly. And it only be for them, the same way that Beyonce and Kendrick made statements that was only for us. And if somebody else happens to get something from it, well, great. But it's not his fault that you're not aware of what was going on in your own country when people in Puerto Rico were having to, regular people, by the way, was having to climb up on utility poles to fix the issue that America should have been sending aid to fix. That was happening in our country because they are Americans. And while I'm here, let me just say, the fact that they had, that some of these people in this country thought, let's make an all-American show when the person who was already headlining the Super Bowl was an American. One of my favorite things from today has been watching the videos of people who felt represented by this performance, because you deserve to feel seen and heard and reflected in what is going on, because your people are being persecuted. And I am glad that you have someone who looks like you, sounds like you, feels like you, have the stage to be able to make a political statement like they did yesterday. It was so well done. 10 stars.